I'm writing to you on my way home from London to my home in the south of Europe, practically in the north of Africa. I look at the houses of this country. It's so different to mine, and from the air I can see what is not normally seen at ground level. The backs of the houses that hide the invisible, the unspeakable, the despised. Yet it moves me to reflect upon that which I always think whenever I see those houses with a beautiful front facade, but a horrible back. The houses should be beautiful in their entirety, but that's not where the problem lies. The problem is that the despised are invisible and unspeakable, because if it were in full view, it could transform the panorama. In that situation would do me less damage, in that I wouldn't have to spend my life pretending to be someone I am not. I wouldn't have to hide my miseries, or my weaknesses, or my fears and insecurities. And I agree with you that this is not naive. Such an attitude devastates me. I will try to explain this assertion. The despised is the rubbish that is hidden behind the houses, for example, as if rubbish wasn't a part of the feeding process. But what is also despised is delinquency that we hide in prisons and reform schools in the shape of boys and girls, women and men, as if they were rubbish. And if they shared nothing of our nature, our needs, our inequalities. The despised are also those we call mad, whom we hide in psychiatric hospitals, fenced in and opaque just like jails, thus guaranteeing that they won't subvert the clean and beautiful neatness of our facades. And we do so in the arrogance of affirming, without saying it out loud, but with a subtle and poisonous language, that we are completely sane. We banish disability attached to the bodies of boys and girls who are hidden in special education schools or special classrooms to avoid casting doubt on the invincible capability of the rest of their so-called normality. We also hide old age, which shames and frightens us. We hide it in asylums, just like the old leper colonies, perhaps under the assumption that the way we will never be infected with the lightness of being. Unbearable, according to Milan Kundera. Decaying bodies exiled by the dictatorship of eternal youth, which causes me, us, pain. More rubbish around the back of the house, like what happens to sick people who are segregated because of their weakness in hospitals, much like repair shops. It would seem that the ones who are outside are healthy, and that we should not see them to be able to continue with our perfect bodies. But what is especially obscene is what is happening in my city by the municipal dump site. On the outskirts of the city, where no one can see it, lies the rubbish we create. Beside it is a neighborhood, the neighborhood of our shame, consisting of people treated like rubbish, who do not deserve to mix with the rest. Gypsy families and poor people who survive in inhumane conditions. They are also the despised, the unspeakable, and the invisible, to the point of placing them next to the rubbish, as if, well, everyone else's culture was the right one, and as if we did not know anything of poverty, those of us born from parents who were the sons and daughters of the Civil War and post-war. Many of those who now, in the middle of this so-called crisis, have to sneak at night to go through dustbins looking for leftovers to eat, in fear and shame. In some cities of the place I live, and I blush as I say this, this practice has been made illegal, punishable by fine, as if the people do this because they want to, and as if starving could be made illegal. Right now I'm looking out of the window of the plane, but I'm thinking about the other window that reminds us every day that death must be hidden in faraway places, or that we must hide the shape, color, and scars of our bodies beneath products and clothes that counteract our mistakes. That window, in the shape of a screen, shows bodies that do not get old, people who are continuously happy, an abundance of goods for everyone, and drives us to banish everything that lies in the margins of the perfect bodies composed of someone else's hands, another person's torso, another person's feet, and pushes me to discriminate against those who are not able to make their bodies fit those norms, the poor, the so-called disabled, the lunatics, the sick, the one who does not belong to my culture, the elderly, those who dare to love unashamedly, the fat, the short, the dumb, the weird, the ugly. And I destroy them by sending them to the underworld, to inhuman places, and I rob them of their humanity. But as I live this farce and I speak this language, I do not cease to mutilate that part of my house I hide at the back, and I try to show only the facade, as if no part of me were dumb, nor sick, nor disabled, nor old, nor dead, nor poor, nor ugly. And my body becomes a facade, and those parts of me which are so important become exiled in the prison of my body, which stops obeying me and reminds me of the pain and the death which I bring on myself with this language.